Welcome back to Once Upon a Grandad. I'm so happy to have you here with us today, ready for another heartwarming story time. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed today's book. Your support helps us share more wonderful stories with families everywhere. And today's story is The Happiest Mommy Ever by Alice Furniss and illustrated by Julie Olson. A touching and joyful book that celebrates the love between a mother and her child. It's the perfect read for reminding us just how special a mother's love can be. So let's get started. I love my mommy. Sometimes we make cookies together, and Mommy will tell me stories. One day I asked, Mommy, what is the happiest you've ever been? Well, said Mommy, once when I was just about your age, I was in a dance recital. I danced and danced and danced. And when I was done, the audience clapped and cheered for me. I was so happy. But, Mommy, is that the happiest you've ever been? Well, it was until I grew older and played volleyball on the school team. I practiced and practiced and practiced. On the day of the big game, all that practice paid off. I made the winning point and we won the big game. I was so happy. But, Mommy, is that the happiest you've ever been? Well, it was until a few years later, I went off to college. I studied and studied and studied. After 4 long years of studying, I graduated and got my college degree. I was so happy. But, Mommy, is that the happiest you've ever been? Well, it was until a few years later, I met your daddy. We spent lots of time together. We laughed and laughed and laughed. One day we went to the temple and we were married. All of our friends and family were there. I was so happy. But, Mommy, is that the happiest you've ever been? Well, it was until Daddy and I had been married a few years. We had lots of love in our home and wanted children to share it with. Then we found out a baby was on its way. We waited and waited and waited. Finally, our brand new baby was here. It was you. I was so happy. But, Mommy, is that the happiest you've ever been? Well, it was until a few years later, that little boy wasn't a baby anymore. He grew and grew and grew. And then he was a big boy that I love to make cookies with and tell stories to. I am so happy. Mommy, is this the happiest you've ever been? Yes, this is the happiest I've ever been. The end. Thank you so much for joining me today to read The Happiest Mommy Ever by Alice Furniss. What a sweet reminder about happiness often comes from the simple, everyday moments we share with the people we love. Whether it's baking cookies, reading stories, or getting a big hug, those little things can bring us the biggest smiles. Being happy doesn't always mean everything is perfect all the time. It means finding joy in the small stuff, like playing, laughing, being kind, or just spending time with someone who cares. Happiness can grow when we look for it and share it with others. What are some things that make you happy? Maybe it's a favorite toy, a silly joke, playing outside, or helping someone feel better. I love to hear all about it in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, I hope you'll join me again for another one soon. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who could use a little happiness today. Until next time, keep smiling and keep reading with Once Upon a Grandad.